Hello, I wanted to make this video to show you how to make some Pear Deck slides so that your students can answer on the slides, and you can use that as a tool to grade your students' work right then and there. Okay, first thing we're going to do, of course, I opened up Google Chrome. We'll click the little waffle cone. We'll go to Slides. And we will start with a blank slide. Okay, and remember, it's taking a while to load. And remember, we want to now make our regular Google Slides become Pear Decks. So we will always go to Add-ons, go down to Pear Deck for Google Slides Add-ons, and slide on over to Open Pear Deck Add-ons. Okay. Alright, and we're going to do about 2 slide examples. So this is a title slide. You can keep this if you want to, but we're going to add some new blank slides. And to do that, of course, I think I want to do the drop down arrow so that I can choose which slide I want. And I think I'm going to do the slide with the title and body. Okay. And at the top here, I think I'll have my students put their name. But you don't have to have them to put their name, because remember, once again, once you do the takeaway, it's going to be connected to that particular student, and you don't know who that student is by name. But if you want to, you can go ahead and have them put their name right there. And then, now let me explain this first. There are 2 things that you can do. You can either have your students type text or draw. Now, for the drawing would be they would actually like write on the line that you create for them to answer on. And let me just show you 2 examples. Let me just show you an example of each, okay? Let's first do a drawing slide, okay? But before we do that, let's go ahead and place our lines that we want them to answer on. So let's do like number 1, hit the period, space, and I'm going to go ahead and make a line for them. And then I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to do number 2. Uh-oh, it already did number 2. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and draw my line. Okay, my cursor is acting up for some reason. Okay, and let's go ahead and put a space in between those 2. Okay, make a little bit more space. Okay, let's now go ahead and add another slide. Let's click our drop down arrow, title and body. Now for this particular slide, we'll go back to this particular slide. We're not done with this one. Now we have to make this a Pear Deck. Okay, so in order for us to make this a Pear Deck, we will let's do draw. Okay, let's do the draw tool. And you see it says add an interactive questions for this. So this is now a Pear Deck. This is a Pear Deck drawing slide. Okay. To edit the type of question, go back to the ask students a question. But this, remember, we only want our students to be able to respond to, put their answer choices on this. Okay. Now let's go to slide number 3. And since the last one was draw, we're going to make this one just where they can just type some text on it, okay? We can maybe put, please respond to all 5 questions. Number your questions. number your answer choices. Number your answers. Okay, so let's make this a interactive deck, and this will be a text question. So let's add that to it. Add an interactive question. This adds a question. So this is a Pear Deck text slide. Okay. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this right quick and see how it will look from the student's point of view. I'm going to go ahead and delete this slide. And we'll only have these two. So remember to actually start this in Pear Deck. Click on Start Lesson. Now, of course, if you're assigning this as something for your students to do on their own time, you're going to probably make it student-paced. But just for this quick little demonstration, we're going to make it instructor-paced. And remember, when you make it student-paced, it'll place it in Google Classroom for your students to be able to access to respond to. Let's go to instructor-paced. We'll give it a minute to display the code. Okay. Our Wi-Fi is really slow up here. Look like the thing just quit. There it is. It's loading. It's launching. Oh, this is taking forever. Okay, generating join code. Alright, that's our join code. So in another tab, we're going to just open joinpd.com to join this session, MRH Fog. I'm going to put that code in, MRH Fog. I'm going to give it a second to load. No answer. This is what your students will see, okay? This is what the students will see. So we'll go ahead and start class as a teacher. Okay, we'll go back over here. Alright, so this is the pencil draw slide. So we're just going to kind of get a feel of what it'll look like when your students answer. And you can decide if this is what you want to receive. They can change the text, the color of the drawing. Or they can even actually add some text to this by typing. Let's click here. So they could respond that way. That's pretty good. I think I'd probably rather that, me myself. Now let's look at it the other way, where we just made it a text slide, period. Okay, remember this was a draw slide. On the draw slide, they can use the pencil and draw, or they can actually add some text on your lines. Okay? So let's go over to presentation. Let's advance to the next slide. Please respond to all 5 questions. Let's go back to the students. So now right here, they'll have a text box, and they could do like this number. I'm sorry. Now the only drawback with this one is they would have to do the numbering themselves, right? Versus that other slide. Let's go back to the other slide. Versus the other slide, okay, I don't know why they look like that, but they can straighten that out and make that large. Okay. You provide your own lines, numbers, and they just answer on your lines and numbers. You'll know your students. Let's go back to this. Okay. Okay, so that's how that looks. Let's see. Let's go ahead and end this presentation. I'm going to name this Save and End Session. I'm going to generate a takeaway in the form of a Google ready to publish takeaways for this session. Publish takeaways. Find and link to takeaways. You can either share this link to, Google Classroom. Let's see. Let's actually open the link itself. Let's see if this gonna cooperate. It's not cooperating. It's this mouse. Okay, there we go. Go to. Okay, I put it right there in my drive. I'm sorry, I was waiting on it to open. So let's go ahead and look at this right quick. Let's open that one because that's what I actually did. Or at least I see my writing on that one. So once again, this is the student one that I joined. There's my name. Okay, give it a few minutes to finish loading. These are my slides and these are my responses. Slide 2, these were my responses to slide 2. Slide 1, these were my responses to slide 1. Okay. So those are my takeaways. And if you want to, if you can generate this as a grade if you want to. That way, if you want to, or you could look at it right in the teacher dashboard. I'm sorry, my computer wants it's doing let's see, today at 5:04. Okay. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Okay. Let's close that out. Or once again, this is what I was saying. I was saying that you could actually look at it in the teacher dashboard also and get your grades. Look at it that way. Get your grades, but bam, 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 right then and there. I hope this was helpful. If this was not helpful, please, please, please let me know and we can actually sit down in person. Okay?